Breaking right now in a Birmingham homicide case, Shantice Jackson, a 30-year-old mother, is facing a capital murder charge after police say she ran over 27-year-old Mickese Bostic, the father of her children, during a gathering on Easter Sunday.
And today she made her first court appearance. ABC 3340's Gracie Johnson was in the courtroom. And Gracie, what happened?
Muriel, Shantice Jackson appeared in court this morning for the first time since her arrest. She was initially brought before Judge William Bell, but the case was moved to Judge Hudson for a bond hearing. In that hearing, Judge Hudson told Jackson she's charged with capital murder and will be held on no bond. Jackson mentioned that her family plans to hire an attorney, but has not named the attorney just yet. The charge comes after a violent scene Sunday night on Lisa Lane. Birmingham police say Jackson and Bostic, who share children, got into an argument during a birthday party that was also an Easter gathering. Allegedly, she left, came back, may have fired a shot, and then hit Bostic with her vehicle, trapping him against a house. He died on the scene. And at least one child may have been present during this incident. Now, Jackson is being held in the Jefferson County Jail on no bond. Muriel.
All right, Gracie, is there any word on when the next court date might be for her?
A date for Jackson's preliminary hearing has not been set yet. Now, that hearing will determine if the case proceeds to trial. Meanwhile, the Birmingham Police Department says it continues to interview witnesses and review evidence from the scene.
A disturbing courtroom moment unfolded as Shantice Renee Jackson, charged with capital murder in the death of her longtime partner, Mickese Bostic, was seen laughing during a court appearance. Prosecutors allege Jackson intentionally ran over Bostic with her SUV during a family celebration in Alabama, an act reportedly witnessed by their children. Under Alabama law, capital murder charges can apply when a parent is killed in the presence of their child.
So I did bring you guys the case of Mickese James Bostic out of Birmingham, Alabama, who was unalived by his girlfriend. They had not at the time arrested her and charged her, but they have officially went ahead and arrested her and charged her. They did go ahead and give her that capital M charge because they do believe those children did see this incident take place. So they did go ahead and upgrade the charges because the children saw it, and we know they will never forget seeing that interaction. It was a birthday party for the daughter who was 7, and they were doing birthday and Easter together, and they say he does stuff pretty big. So he had a moonwalk, a water slide, he had ribs for the whole town. He had a festivity out there. She came over earlier in the day, and they did have a domestic dispute earlier in the day, and the police were called. They were able to go their separate ways, and they separated, and she left the house. She did end up coming back to the house later on, and when she got there, within 10 minutes the police were being called again because of this situation. Now, he had bought her a house on Valentine's Day. They had just gotten that, so they said he did things big. He was taking care of her and his kids. They did have 2 children together, and he loved every single one of them with everything he had in them, according to his family and friends. So they are experiencing a great loss because he was a big part of their life and those kids' lives as well. And he was also a juvenile detention officer at Jefferson County, and he had been doing that for the past 8 years. So that was pretty much like his whole working career. He's currently being held without bond at this time, which it needs to be, because I'm not sure what happened with this photo that they took of her, but this patch of hair missing, I'm not sure what was going on. So I don't know if some evaluations are going to need to be done. That is not something that I've read. It is just something that I have a concern for at this time based on that photo that I saw. Still boyfriend and girlfriend at the time of this incident, according to family members. So that is the update as of now. She has been charged with that capital M charge, and they are in the process of planning his funeral after this loss.
Shantice Jackson, the woman accused of killing Mickese with her car on Sunday night, made her first court appearance today. Jackson is facing a charge of capital murder. According to the Birmingham Police Department. The mickese is identified as a 27-year-old. Shantice is said to have children with mickese. During the hearing, Shantice informed Judge William Bell that her mother had secured an attorney for her, though she did not provide a name. As a result, Judge Bell scheduled a new court appearance for April 30th to allow the time for the attorney to file a notice of appearance. In the courtroom, Jackson was observed smiling and mouthing words to those present when she approached Judge Bell. She appeared to speak clearly and confidently. According to the court clerk, Shantice is expected to make another appearance today before Judge Hudson. Further updates will be provided as they are available. Well, this cunty bitch needs not just the capital unaliving charge, she needs the chair. How dare you smile as you killed someone who loved you? You are just sick and you are heartless. It's no words to explain how bad you need the death penalty.
All right, guys, you remember when I brought you this story regarding Mickese Bostic and Shantice Jackson down in Birmingham, Alabama on Easter Sunday when she unalived him with the vehicle? Well, I have an update to this right here, and this is coming from a neutral source. This is a source that is neutral, and I want to give a shout out to Viral T for this connection. First, let me say this. There are always two sides to a story, every story, all right? And this is not to, blemish or discount the loss of life or anything like that. But I'm going to give you what was given to me from a very reliable neutral source. And again, also, I'm sending my condolences to both sides of the family because it's easy to form opinions, but nobody truly knows what goes on behind closed doors. We're only believing what we're told. And many times people will put on a mask in order to hide their struggles, in order to hide their pain. Now, we already know that, Shantice is, currently charged with the unaliving of Mickese. So we know on Easter Sunday, Mickese and Shantice hosted a birthday party for their daughter, Michaela, who was turning 7 years old. And although her actual birthday was the day after Easter, they decided to celebrate early. And most of the guests were from Mickese's family, while Shantice had 4 relatives in attendance. Now, according to this source, the conflict began when one of Shantice's white friends accidentally hit the car of Mickese's friends. And Mickese, his family grew upset and attempted to jump the man over the incident. And Shantice intervened to protect her friend, positioning herself between him and Mickese's family. Now, they said this only intensified that entire situation, causing Mickese and his family to turn against both Shantice and her friend. Now, the source also said that the confrontation moved inside the house. Now, moments later, Shantice's son ran out of the house shouting that his mother was being attacked and locked in a room. And the police were called and they arrived, and they struggled to get inside until somebody finally unlocked the doors. Both Mickese and Shantice were temporarily detained, but were released once everything calmed down. Now, at that time, surprisingly, neither one of them were arrested. So afterwards, Mickese continued to yell aggressively at the officers, claiming that it would take 100 cops to stop him. Now, this is coming from the source. Now, despite all the words that were being said to these police officers, both parties were allowed to leave. Now, Shantice drove off, but returned later to collect her clothes for her children for school. Her brother, who had been staying there, also came back to gather his belongings. Now, it was also said, too, that she tried to reach him over the phone, but couldn't reach him, and she was going to go inside and check on him. So when Shantice entered the house with her older son, who seemed to be about 10 years old, she could hear Mickese's family making threats to her. Now, the source also said they saw her backing away with a firearm as they approached her, like in self-defense. And she eventually fired a warning shot into the air. And this person said they took cover, but continued watching. Now, at that time, they said Mickese then stepped in to defend his family and began attacking Shantice. She screamed for her brother to help, and he tried to calm things down. Now, during the struggle, Mickese managed to wrestle the firearm away from Shantice and began waving it around while arguing with her brother. It was a light-skinned man that this person recognized from previous encounters. Now, as this went on, the tensions grew even worse. So Shantice, she got into her car with all 4 children attempting to leave. Mickese started throwing objects at the car, including a water bottle that struck her and one of the children in the face. And this caused Shantice to crash into her mother's red GMC truck. Now, this made Mickese furious, and it made him punch the car. Then he reached inside and he started attacking her through the window. He pulled her braids. That's why we see the bald spot in her mugshot, and then used the firearm to hit her. Shantice tried to drive off again, but Mickese blocked her path, and that's when all the chaos spilled over into another neighbor's yard. Now, this was the time when Shantice actually hit him with the vehicle. And this person said they saw her get out of the vehicle to check on him after he was hit with the vehicle, right? And at that moment, another woman attacked her from behind while 2 other women took her purse and her phone. Now, it was also witnessed that a man came up and took that firearm from the possession of mickese while Shantice was being attacked. And then that male, he left immediately after getting the firearm from mickese possession. Now, I'm giving you the account of somebody who is neutral in this whole situation. And if all of that right there is fact from this eyewitness account, it does appear to be some type of self-defense and an accident. I'll bring you guys more as soon as I find out more. But like I said, there's always two sides to a story. Lift up both sides of the family. Lift up the children, because this right here, it never should have really happened. Also, there are some videos over on the book face. I'm gonna put those videos in the comment section, but there are some videos of some interactions that happened and everything with him and with her at the airport. I think it was the airport. And then there was some other stuff too, some photos and everything that was sent to me with a lot of bruising and all kinds of other stuff. So I'm gonna put that over there also. Go check it out.